In this video, I'm going to show you how to speed up your WordPress-based website using a CDN, which stands for Content Delivery Network. You're going to learn about what a content delivery network is in this video and how to add it to your WordPress website. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I make these WordPress tutorial videos for non-techies. If you're new here, consider clicking on the subscribe button. Okay, everybody wants a fast WordPress-based website. It's like the holy grail of having a website. Load time, the speed of your website is very important. It's mostly important for the user experience, the people that come to your website. You want to make that as pleasant as possible. So a content delivery network is one thing that you can add to your website to make it a faster or snappier experience. And the best news is there are free options, and the paid options, which I'm going to show you how to add to your website in this video, really only cost pennies. And they only add pennies to the cost of having your website each month. So let me just explain quickly what a content delivery network is. When someone visits your website, it sends from your web server to their web browser various things. The largest things that it sends are images and videos if you have them embedded in, but it's typically images and various style files and various other files that get sent. But the big thing is really those images. And so what a content delivery network is instead of your web server delivering those images to your website visitors, instead it's going to be delivered through this content delivery network that will have a copy of these assets, the content on your website. It will have a copy of these in servers around the world. So not only is it going to reduce the load on your actual web hosting account, it has the potential of delivering those assets faster because it's also geographically closer to where your website visitor is. I'm trying my best to explain it in the most simplest manner possible. Now, here's a couple ways of adding a content delivery network to your WordPress-based website. Now, the first one, which is also free, is CloudFlare. I love CloudFlare. Now, I'm not going to show you how to set up CloudFlare in this video. That would require its own full tutorial. Now, CloudFlare is free. They have a free plan and they have some paid plans, but the reason I'm not going to go through CloudFlare too much in this video is because it's a much bigger tool than just a content delivery network. It has security features it adds. It has all kinds of code modifying optimizations that it adds, and there's one particular setting in it that has been known to cause some problems with various page builders. It's their rocket loader. So it's probably not the best in this video on content delivery networks to go through CloudFlare. However, I should make a full tutorial video on CloudFlare. It is free and it's a pretty good product. Instead, we're going to go over some of these specific content delivery network services. And when you see the cost of these, you're going to almost have to do a double take because they're very inexpensive. So one of the content delivery networks that I've heard a lot about, it's not the one we're going to go over in this video, it's called CDN. And this is one of the more popular ones right here. And let's see, I wanted to go to the pricing page here so you can get an idea of the cost, how inexpensive these are. So the way it works is they charge you per gigabyte in the various geographical locations. So if the visitor is in Europe or North America, it's going to be 4 cents per gigabyte of content that is delivered through their network. If it's Asia, 12 cents, and Oceania and South America, 16 cents. Okay. And then the more bandwidth that you use, that cost starts to scale down a little bit, not a huge amount, but a little bit. Now, the one that we're going to talk about in this video is called BunnyCDN. Their website is BunnyCDN.com. I'll also try to put some links in the video description box. It's just BunnyCDN.com. And let's see, they have a nice comparison down here. Actually, I think it is right here. Okay, now let's take a look at their pricing. 1 cent 1 cent per gigabyte in Europe and North America, and it doesn't scale. It's always this much lower price. Asia and Oceania, 3 cents per gigabyte in South. So you get the idea. These are just different prices here. And there's even this estimator right here where you can put in what you think you're going to use to estimate the cost is based upon your traffic. Now, I know for my website, most of the traffic is in North America and then India, and then Europe. So those are the 3 main traffic sources or geographical areas where people are coming to my website. But this is what I wanted to show you. The price performance comparison that this website has. So the first column is listing the price per terabyte, and you can see BunnyCDN has a lower price per terabyte than KeyCDN, which is I just showed you, and then all of these various other CDNs listed here. Now, then the next column is the performance of all of these. And you could see, well, just so you know, the performance, the lower means the faster, which means better. Okay, so you can see how BunnyCDN compares. So now you can get an idea of, okay, this is the cost, but how well does it perform? It lists it all right here. And this is why I chose BunnyCDN. And I've actually been testing it on my website. You're going to see the amount of data that's been actually used on the service in the last, I think, 10 days or so. Now, they have a 14-day free trial. I am actually on I think like day 10 or 9 of this free trial. So now let me show you the back end of BunnyCDN. You're going to see what I use or what's been used on my website through implementing it. And then we're going to go and implement this on a fresh WordPress-based website. So here you go. This is the account overview for me. I am still in the trial. You can see right there. And so you can see, so if it's day 5 left of the trial, I've had this on my website for 9 days, roughly. Okay, so you can see that the bandwidth used is about 25 gigabytes. Now, I was using a different CDN prior to using this one, and I use maybe 100 gigabytes per month, but my website has a lot of images and all that. Most websites, and my website does have a lot of traffic, so I don't know what the average would be for a less trafficked website, but my guess is pennies per month. Okay, so here's the bandwidth used. It's only about 25 gigabytes requests served. So this is individual assets that were served from the CDN to people visiting my website. And you can see some of the various information here. And so this would be requests and bandwidth that would have come straight off of my web server, but this kind of reduces the load on my web server and instead delivers those assets. The reason that something like this is important for me is because I do have traffic from all around the world. The server for my website is in the United States, but I want the fastest website experience for anyone that visits my website if there's anything that I could do about it. But the crazy thing is when you look at this, about 100 gigabytes per month, if we went back to the calculator right here, and let's just put it in right here. Let's put in 100. So 100 gigabytes per month, and then let's clear that out. You could see with that, I would only be paying an extra $1 per month for 100 gigabytes out of North America and the EU. That's not a lot of money to spend. And when you figure you get a 14-day free trial, you might as well try it. Okay, so let me show you how to implement this on your website. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. And depending on what you have already on your website, you're going to use one of the 2 ways. Now, BunnyCDN and also KeyCDN, and I'm assuming most of the other ones, they do have a simple WordPress plugin that you can add to your website, link it up to your account, and it will do everything that it needs to do for you. And now those assets will start being served up from the content delivery network. That is the first way of doing it. The second way is if you're using a caching plugin or a performance plugin on your website, there's a whole bunch of them. If you're using one of those, many times they will support CDNs like this. So what's going to happen is we're going to add a website to the interface, and it's going to give us a URL. We would take this URL and we would put that into a caching plugin if the caching plugin had that as a feature. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Maybe we can add a caching plugin at the end of this video just to show you what that looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So the first thing thing with BunnyCDN is we need to add what's called a pull zone. I don't like the terminology, but that's okay. Pull zone, let's click on that right here, and then I'm going to click right here, add pull zone. And you can see right here, we already have the pull zone created for WP Crafter. So I'm going to click on add a pull zone. And then right here, we just need to put in the first part of your website under name. And then under origin URL, we need to put in the URL to your website. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I added show the demo for the name, and for the origin URL, I put my URL right there. And then right here, you don't need to touch anything. We're going to leave the tier type to premium. And then right here, we need to choose the various pricing zones. So right here, for me, I just wanted to add all of them. I don't care if I pay a little bit more for traffic in South Africa, because I know I don't have a ton of South African traffic, so it's going to add very little cost, because you could see the cost for North America traffic is 6 times less than South African traffic. But that's okay. For me, I want all of these. Actually, it looks like they're all pre-selected for me, but if you wanted to turn one off, you could just click on it like that, and it won't use that zone. All right, so then I'm going to click on Add Pull Zone. We'll just wait a moment here. And now it's giving you the instructions to add this to your platform. Of course, this is just not just a WordPress thing. You can do this for WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, or just your basic website, and they have the information. So what's going to end up happening once this is working, we're going to see that instead of, say, a logo using this for the address to the logo, which is your domain name, images, logo, whatever, it's going to instead serve it up from the Bunny Content Delivery Network like that. So the URL just changes, and we're gonna go through that. Okay, so when I click on WordPress, it tells us we can just click on here and install the plugin, and then we need to add for the pull zone name that name we chose, which in this case was show the demo. We could do it like that, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to do that in this video. Now, for caching plugins, you do something different. First, you find out if your caching plugin supports adding a different URL for a content delivery network. And then if it does, this is that content delivery network domain that was automatically generated in this tool. And it's right here, showthedemo.b-cdn.net. You would take that and you would paste that into that performance plugin. I'll see if I could do that in this video. So, okay, so I have this. I'm going to copy it into my clipboard. I'm going to go into the back end of WordPress. I'm going to go to plugins, add new, and then I'll just do a quick search for BunnyCDN. So I'm going to enter it right here. There it is, BunnyCDN. So I'm going to click on install now. And these installation and setup instructions are probably going to be pretty similar to every content delivery network provider. So I'll go ahead and click on activate. Now, I'll tell you on my website, WP Crafter, I am not using the plugin because I do have a performance plugin on my website where I use that URL. Okay, so you can see it added it right there, BunnyCDN, and since I haven't done it this way, there it is, BunnyCDN. I wish they would put that underneath settings instead of having it there. Maybe there'll be an option. All right, so right here it says enable BunnyCDN. Just put the pull zone name right there and click on enable BunnyCDN, just like that. And this is all that needs to happen. Now, I want to let you know that when you are adding a CDN, these assets that are on your website are now part of this content delivery network. So it's sort of like a cached version of your website. I know that's not the right terminology. So when you update something, there may be instances where you need to go and purge the cache that is on BunnyCDN. I'll go back into the BunnyCDN website to show you how to do that. But what's going to happen now is all of those images and various assets on your website, if we look at the source code of your website, you're going to see that they're now being delivered through this content delivery network. So let me go to view site, and this is a old demo site I've done lots of things on, and there should be a immediate speed improvement. So I'm going to right click on this, and then I'm going to choose view page source, just like that. And then this is what this does, is it shows you the source of your source code that is is used to generate the page. And we can immediately see when I scroll down here, some of these links, these are the various assets that get delivered when someone visits your website. And we can see already the URL has changed. So you see right here for these CSS style sheets, you could see showthedemo.b-cdn.net. That means this is now being loaded via the content delivery network, and it's not all on my web server. And you can see that all throughout here. You can see all of these links that are serving up style sheets. As we scroll down, you're going to see other things like images being served up. Here's an image that's being served up. It's now coming from this content delivery network, and based upon where the visitor is going to be in the world, it's probably going to hit them quicker than it would because it's more geographically close to them. Sorry, I'm doing my best to explain this as good as possible. All right, so let me go ahead and close that out. Now let me show you the very important thing, which is clearing or purging the assets from BunnyCDN to get them to be regenerated. So if I go back to that spot there in the admin area of BunnyCDN, I can click right here where it says purge. So when I go there, it's going to allow you to purge individual files. And this is nice. I personally don't purge an individual file. I just purge the whole thing out. So let's go ahead and see how to do that. I actually haven't needed to do that. So I'm going to go into pull zones, and I think there's an option. If I go into the pull zone, there should be an option here. There it is. Okay, so it has this kind of cycle icon right there. When you click on that, it's going to purge out the entire cache. And that's pretty much all there is. So you can run this for 14 days and see how it works on your website if you wanted to. Now, lastly, let me show you how to add this to a caching plugin. So I'm going to go to plugins. I'll go to add new this time, and I'm going to install a performance plugin. And this time I'm going to install Breeze, which is a performance plugin, a caching plugin made by Cloudways, which is a kind of a cloud server hosting provider that I have a tutorial coming out soon on. So I'm just going to do a search for Breeze, and then here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. Now, this plugin, I know for sure, has an area to put your own CDN link in. And I know Swift Performance does. I know that Rocket WP does. And there's a whole bunch that do. Okay, so Breeze adds settings underneath the settings panel. I'll click on Breeze right here. Now, you wouldn't want the plugin and to do this in the performance plugin. You would only want to do one or the other. So here's a tag, or a tab, should I say, that says CDN. So what you would do is, in this case, you would click on the check mark and you would paste the CDN link right there. So where we had got that was right here, actually, the host name. So we could just take the host name and then go right here and paste our host name in. And according to this, it wants us to do a double slash in the front, which is fine. We could do a double slash, and that's all there is to adding your CDN through a performance plugin that you may already have installed on your website. So this is it for adding, it's really simple, adding a content delivery network to your website to increase its speed and performance. It's something that I have been using for quite a while. We talked about CloudFlare, which is a free option, and some of these more premium options, and the cost is literally pennies. This is fantastic if you are managing and hosting websites for clients. It's a fantastic option to have as a value add to whatever care package that you may be providing for people. And also, something I forgot to mention in the very beginning of the video, I am sorry, is that some of the premium hosting providers, we're talking some of the premium managed WordPress hosting providers, some of them may already offer a CDN with the hosting package. So if you're using higher end or higher priced hosting companies like WP Engine or Pagely, which is on the super high end, or Flywheel, they probably are already provide included with your plan a content delivery network service. But this is, I guess, just for the rest of us. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video or found any value in it, I want to ask you to give it a thumbs up. Consider clicking on the subscribe button if you want more videos like this. And if you want to be notified, click on the bell. YouTube will let you know when I have a new video. And I want to ask you if you've used and have any recommendations on other content delivery networks. I know I used BunnyCDN. That doesn't mean that I'm saying this is the best and only one out there. It's just the most reasonable price one, I believe, and the one that I chose to use and I'm testing out right now. I think most people will really find benefit in it. But if you use a different content delivery network and want to share about that, let me know in the comment section down below. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.